Our lungs are under threat, but there is one man who drives the campaign in favor of our lungs. He's our second speaker for the event, Dr. Professor Arvind Kumar, who is a leading robotic and thoracic surgeon and has been contributing to the field of medicine for almost 30 years. He was the person who introduced thoracoscopic surgery at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He is presently the Director, Institute of Robotic Surgery and Chairman of Center for Chest and Lung Transplantation in Sir Gangaram Hospital, New Delhi. It was under his aegis that Sir Gangaram Hospital has become Asia's first hospital to deliver successful robotic vascular surgery. We request Dr. Arvind to please ascend the stage to share his wisdom with us.
Good morning. It's a disease which causes 1 in 9 deaths worldwide. It affects everyone in our country, from our Honorable Prime Minister to a child who's yet to be born. It's an invisible killer. It causes millions of deaths across the country, much more than many other diseases which are often talked about. It's actually a slow but long-term Bhopal gas tragedy that's existing across the nation. Every second, every minute, every day. It's what you and I breathe 25,000 times a day, and we inhale about 10,000 liters of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you would have guessed I'm talking about the air we breathe, and along with this air, the poison that we take inside. It's very strange if I tell you that your food has poison, you will not eat it because you can manage without eating for up to 21 days. If I tell you your water is poisoned, you will not drink it because you can manage up to 5 days without it. But if I tell you that the air you are breathing is poisoned, and I ask you to stop breathing, you will not be able to do it because you can't manage without breathing. That's the importance of this problem. I'm often asked that I'm a chest surgeon, I'm a doctor, why am I talking about air pollution? It's actually the scientists and the environmentalists who should be talking. For answer this question, I want to share with you a photograph of what I have seen in the last 30 years. I've been practicing chest surgery for 30 years, and in these 30 years, I have seen a change in the color of lungs. Look at the lung on your left, which is the normal pink lung as it should be, and the one on your right is what I see every day. Equally disturbing is the story of a gentleman who came a couple of years back to me with cough and some blood coming in the sputum. On investigation, I found that he actually has lung cancer. And family said, well, lung cancer occurs in smokers. This guy was a non-smoker. Why has he got it? I had no answer. Another lady who came a couple of months back, again a similar background, young person, non-smoker, from a non-smoker family, but has lung cancer. When I started asking for reasons, I looked at my own data. 30 years of operating on these diseases, what changes? If you look at this slide, from almost 90 to 95% of patients of lung cancer being smokers 30 years back, today I see equal number of smokers and non-smokers. I see more females with lung cancer. I see more young people with lung cancer. Why is this happening? And the reason is not far to seek. When I look around the air quality and I analyze the air quality, I come to the conclusion that actually there is no non-smoker in India. And we are the only country which provides a pack of cigarettes to its newborns. Allow me to say that we add 51 newborn smokers to our country every minute, because that's the number of births that's happening. You might be wondering why I'm making this statement, and the reason is that if you look at the air quality, and this is the map that I took yesterday, the average air quality in Delhi yesterday was about 350. There is a conversion formula which says that 22 microgram of PM 2.5 is equal to 1 cigarette. So every one of us who lived in Delhi in the last 24 hours has smoked 16 cigarettes. So is there any non-smoker in this room? The answer is no. And that's the reason why these young patients are developing problems. Let's look at the air composition today. When I read my biology, I was told air has oxygen, nitrogen. But today, we don't talk about that. Today we talk about NOx, SOx, carbon monoxide, ozone, various other compounds. We talk of PM 2.5. Now look at this, PM 2.5, what is it? It's a small particle, 1/20th the size of a human hair. It goes inside, it goes and gets deposited in the lungs and damages our lungs on a permanent basis. So what are the health ill effects of this air pollution and what is the magnitude of these health effects? If you would see, India ranks first in the incidence of lung diseases across the world. Nearly 10% of all deaths in India are due to lung diseases. And when we look at the pollution figures across the country, we find that nearly 3/4 of the most polluted cities in the world happen to be in India. The apex of the pyramid. So exposure is actually occurring to the large number of people. So which are the organs which are affected? If you look at this figure, please look and tell me, is there any organ which is not affected? No. Every organ. So lungs being the point of entry get the maximum impact. Look at this lung. This is the kind of pink lung that we are born with. But friends, this is the color of lungs that I see every day 3 to 4 times when I open the chest of people. And this is the reason why I am outside the OT addressing this august audience. This is the kind of lungs I see in smokers. So see the 3 different lungs and compare for yourself. This is how pink lungs turn into black lungs. What does it lead us to? Allergy, asthma, COPD, emphysema, increased incidence of tuberculosis and the most dreaded lung cancer. But that's not all. It affects the reproductive organs, it affects the pregnant ladies, it affects the children who are developing inside the womb, it causes premature deaths, it causes congenital defects, it affects our heart, hypertension, rhythm problems, heart attack, the brain development, lack of cognitive development in children, brain attack also occur with much higher incidence in people who are exposed to air pollution. We all experience burning in the eyes whenever we are exposed to smoke. We all experience burning in the skin and very dry hair when we are exposed to the air. So these are all effects of air pollution. People often ask, sir, what age group? Is any sex which is exempt? Well, the only thing you need for being affected is breathing. If you are breathing, you are affected by it. If you want to avoid, you have to stop breathing. People often ask, who are the most vulnerable groups? The most vulnerable groups are unborn babies, children, and the elderly because they have a lower immunity. Does it only cause diseases or does it shorten our life also? There have been numerous studies across the world which have shown that for every 10 microgram rise in PM 2.5, there is a proportionate increase in the number of deaths. Many people say, well, this only affects poor people. It doesn't affect those who are living in big houses. The answer is that if you are breathing, you are affected. Whether you are living in a palatial house or you are living in a hut, the level of exposure may be different, but everybody is affected. Another thing which is said is, this is a Delhi-centric problem. It only occurs in Delhi. Look at this graph. 14 of the 20 most polluted cities in the world happen to be in India. You look at the names of the cities, some of the most well-known, including Varanasi, the constituency of our respected Prime Minister, is one of the most affected cities. So it's not a Delhi-centric problem, it's a pan-country problem. So looking at the national perspective, I ask myself, is the situation okay, mild or alarming? Well friends, Considering the kind of impact that I see every day on the lungs, I have the courage to say that it's actually a national emergency. It needs awareness on the part of people, awakening and commitment. For me, it's a do or die situation. It's the time to act is now. It's now or never. If we allow committees and other things to look at it, by the time we start acting, friends, it will be too late. Who are the people who are affected? Well, anyone who lives in a country and anyone who breathes is affected by it. Again, I come back to this pyramid. We only look at diseases, people getting admitted to hospital or deaths. But the bottom of the pyramid is actually the entire population which is affected by it. The tip is actually only the tip of the iceberg. It's an issue that all of us should be concerned about. If you are breathing, you are under the attack of air pollution. Not just you, you and your loved ones, everybody's life is at risk. So who will rectify it? Often when I ask this to people, they say, well, it's a government's problem, government has to change policies, government has to do this. Well, friends, my answer is, government did not create pollution. It was created by all of us together over a period of decades, and it's only we, the people of India, who ultimately will be able to rectify this problem. If we feel and think that one magical government policy will change this overnight, if you look at the scenarios across the world, no country, only government has been able to change it. It's always been government policies matched by people's participation which has been. And that's why I want to propose my solution to pollution. If 1.3 million people, the 1300 million people in this country, if each one of us commits that yes, it's a problem which is affecting me, it's affecting my children, we have to do something about it. If that kind of a commitment comes, the solution will come. These are the various sources which occur. Oftentimes we quote this figure, which is the severity of the pollution. Green, yellow and orange is rarely seen. Most of the time we are in dangerous, very dangerous or hazardous zone. Yesterday we were in the dangerous zone. Many times I am asked, is air purifier and mask a problem? Well, it's a public problem. Air purifiers, if you put in the room, it may help some people for some time to some extent at a very heavy cost. But it's a temporary private solution, whereas this is a permanent public problem, and therefore air purifier and mask is not a solution to this problem. So what can we do? We have to address the two basic issues. The smoke and the dust. Smoke, wherever it is coming from, I have listed the various sources from industry to fire burning, and dust, various sources from roadside to construction. Wherever it is coming from, you, all of us, have to look for these sources and not look for overnight big magical changes, but small incremental corrections in these. And if 1300 million people do this, I'm sure the situation will improve. So I come back to my original slide that air pollution today is a national emergency. We, the people of India, are facing it. It's a do or die situation, and the time to act is now. If we don't act today, well, we will have a very, very dangerous tomorrow. We all are very busy in our jobs. We want to earn a lot of money. We want to build palatial houses. We want to build multiplexes, beautiful malls. We think we are living a wonderful future for our children. Imagine a situation where everything is wonderful, so-called, but our children cannot come out of the house without an oxygen mask. Is that the situation we want? But that is what will happen if we have progress, so-called progress, with no attention paid to pollution. On the other hand, I want to stress that it's possible to have progress with pollution adequately taken care of so that the future of our children is secure. So friends, choice is ours. Either we can let things continue and drift the way they are, or we make a commitment that no, it's a national emergency. Each one of us rises and starts acting on it. And if we do that, we'll be able to give to our children the most beautiful gift that we can leave for them, and that is gift of clean air. Friends, we all owe it to our children. Thank you very much.